The ocean has its own ways of lying. Beneath the surface, where light fractures into shifting blue and time feels suspended, danger does not always announce itself with teeth or speed. Sometimes, it waits, still, beautiful, mistaken for safety. Fire coral is one of the ocean's quiet deceptions. At first glance, it looks like stone shaped by patience. Branching, rigid, often glowing in shades of gold, amber, or rust. It does not move, it does not chase, it does not flee, and yet, contact is enough to leave a memory burned into human skin. This is not coral as most imagine it. It is something older, stranger. Fire coral is not a true coral at all. It belongs to a different lineage, closer to jellyfish than to reef-building corals. What appears solid is, in reality, a living colony, thousands upon thousands of tiny organisms working as one. Each individual is insignificant alone. Together, they become architecture. Evolution placed fire coral in warm, shallow seas where sunlight feeds growth and currents bring nutrients. Here, competition is relentless. Space is everything. To survive, fire coral did not evolve speed or camouflage. It evolved defense, chemical defense. Along its surface are microscopic structures capable of delivering venom. Invisible, immediate. A burning sensation follows contact, as if the reef itself has rejected the intrusion. The pain is not meant to kill. It is meant to teach. This is territory. Fire coral spreads slowly, extending its skeleton outward, layer by layer. What looks like stone is calcium carbonate, deposited with meticulous regularity. Over decades, these structures merge into reefs that shape entire ecosystems. Fish shelter among its branches. Algae colonize its surface. Predators learn to keep their distance. The reef becomes a city built on a warning. But fire coral does not choose allies. It tolerates them. Beneath the rigid exterior, life pulses quietly. Tiny polyps extend at night, feeding on plankton drifting through the water column. Each feeding is microscopic, each success cumulative. This is survival by accumulation, not conquest. Storms break reefs apart, waves tear fragments loose, and yet, fire coral persists. Broken pieces can attach elsewhere, continuing to grow as if nothing ended. In destruction, it finds reproduction. Time moves differently here. A human lifetime passes. The reef barely notices. Fire coral records history not in memory but in layers. Each growth ring marks changes in temperature, chemistry, and light. Within its skeleton lies a timeline of the ocean itself. Warming seas accelerate growth but weaken structure. Acidification eats away at foundations laid over centuries. The reef does not scream. It erodes quietly, and still, it burns. Not with flame, but with warning. A reminder that the ocean's beauty is not an invitation. It is a condition, one that demands respect. The reef does not forgive touch. It remembers it. Pain, in the ocean, is rarely accidental. Fire coral does not sting out of anger. It stings out of memory. Its venom is ancient, refined not to kill quickly, but to discourage forever. The chemical compounds released upon contact trigger nerve endings instantly. To the human body, it feels like fire. To the reef, it is simply communication. Do not return. This venom evolved not for humans, but for fish, turtles, and invertebrates that learned, generation after generation, to avoid its surface. Some species try once. Very few try twice. Nature remembers faster than curiosity. Yet fire coral is not aggressive. It does not hunt. It does not reach. It waits for mistakes. Its true power lies not in venom, but in persistence. In the crowded architecture of a coral reef, space is the most valuable currency. Every organism competes for light, for flow, for attachment. Fire coral wages this competition silently. When neighboring corals grow too close, chemical warfare begins. Growth slows. Tissue weakens. Eventually, fire coral claims the space without ever moving. This is not violence. It is strategy. Over time, fire coral becomes foundational. Its rigid skeleton absorbs wave energy, protecting softer corals behind it. Storms strike. Branches snap. But the reef holds, because the fire coral stands first. Fish learn this geography instinctively. Juveniles hide among its branches, knowing predators hesitate. Pain teaches boundaries better than teeth. At night, the reef transforms. Fire corals feeding polyps emerge like ghosts, translucent, delicate, almost fragile. The same surface that burns by day becomes receptive by night. Plankton drifts in. Tube-like structures capture microscopic life. Nutrition flows inward. This duality defines fire coral. Defense and vulnerability. Stone and flesh. Silence and sting. Human encounters break this balance. Swimmers brush against it unknowingly. Divers mistake it for dead rock. The reaction is immediate. Burning, rash, welts that linger for days or weeks. Some scars never fully fade. The reef leaves its signature. But fire coral is not malicious. It does not adapt to humans. Humans are temporary. The reef operates on geological patience. What does threaten fire coral is not touch, but change. Rising ocean temperatures stress colonies. Bleaching events disrupt the symbiotic algae that fuel growth. Acidification weakens skeletal formation. Pollution clouds water, reducing feeding efficiency. The reef's oldest defenses are powerless against chemistry rewritten too fast. When fire coral dies, it does not collapse dramatically. It erodes, slowly, quietly. The reef loses its armor. Storm damage increases. Biodiversity declines. And the ocean grows more fragile. Yet in protected waters, fire coral still thrives. Colonies centuries old continue to grow millimeter by millimeter, writing history into calcium. They survive hurricanes. They survive predators. They survive time. Because fire coral was never built for speed. It was built for endurance. To observe fire coral properly is to learn restraint. Not everything beautiful invites touch. Not every still form is passive. Some things survive by teaching the world to keep its distance. The reef does not chase you. It does not warn you loudly. It simply exists, burning quietly, holding the ocean together one layer at a time. And long after human footsteps fade from the shore, fire coral will remain, glowing beneath the water, reminding the sea how to defend itself.